Welcome to Video Influencers. I've got Byron Talbott, an old friend of mine, as well as a YouTuber, specifically food videos. He does a lot of great recipes, cooking tutorials. Thank you so much, Byron, for being on the channel.
Thank you. Thanks, Benji.
Appreciate it.
Honestly.
So today I'm going to interview Byron about his journey through YouTube. He is an amazing chef. He cooks great food, has a really high production quality when it comes to like filming his food. And me being a food guy, I'm very like impressed with what he does by himself. So today I want to ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
But first I want to tell you guys a little bit about Byron. He started off doing these food tutorials, talking about recipes that he personally puts out onto YouTube. And now you're doing big things, working with big brands. Byron, can you tell me about your journey from why you even started doing YouTube videos to how you got to where you're at right now and what you're doing?
Okay, so first of all, thank you. That was like an awesome intro. I'm like, I have to live up to that now.
No.
Where I started, so I was born in New Mexico. I don't really know where to start, but this is, I guess I'll go way back. So I was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a green chili guy. My family moved out to Southern California when I was 4 years old. So really this is all I know. SoCal kid, Valley kid. And so I grew up out here. I was like skater, snowboarder, kind of outdoors kid, got in a little bit of trouble.
Lots of sun.
Lots of sun, yeah. I went to the beach a lot. And just, grew up in a pretty normal SoCal life. And my brother, amidst high school, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do in life. And that's like, we had no idea. We were just like rebels. So he somehow with his, like, my brother's really artistic, and he had this like desire to, be a chef and to join a culinary school and like go pursue that route. And so of course, like little brother, like big brother, I naturally followed him into that field. And the Food Network, I don't even know I guess the cooking channel is that old, about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Those were booming like crazy and causing a ton of interest in the food community and like just in the culinary world. And I think that kind of played into my desire and like why I fell in love with food. But nonetheless, fast forward, I went to culinary school. I went to LA Mission College. It was a community college here in Southern California. So, I didn't have like a crazy tuition. It wasn't nuts. I had such a fun time. I went to a few cooking competitions, won a chocolate contest, won a cheese contest. So essentially you have to use the main ingredient, chocolate, and basically there are parameters around. And so I ended up winning. I thought I lost. I ended up winning a Vegas competition, and that like propelled my desire for sweets and just to kind of go full force into the field. And so once I got my certificate from culinary school, didn't spend like $1 zillion, didn't have a crazy tuition debt, I didn't have any debt, and went and got a job at a country club. One of the guys at the culinary school instructors helped me out with that. Worked my way in the industry through that country club to another standalone in Malibu, and then eventually had the opportunity to work with Gordon Ramsay, opening up the London West Hollywood, and that was amazing. Had a chance to work with Thomas Keller, opening up Bouchon Beverly Hills, and worked with his team for a number of years. And amidst all that, my wife, Rachel Talbott,
another YouTuber.
She started her YouTube channel. She kind of has her old story on how she got there, but she started a channel, lifestyle, beauty, all that good stuff, and her audience found out that I was a chef through her just kind of blabbing about me, and they demanded that I start a YouTube channel. So it was like a year of resistance. I was like battling back and forth, like, no, I can't do this, no one's gonna watch my stuff. And then she's like the biggest advocate for me. So started my YouTube channel. It's basically the way I sum it up, it's like a step inside the professional world and a step inside the home cook world. So you kind of have that blend of, professional, like a professional outlook on the food, and but I like whimsical food. My mom was a good cook.
Yeah.
She made, we had like Taco Tuesdays and beef stroganoff and like really simple meals.
Yeah.
So that kind of plays into my channel a little bit. I don't like to go too crazy. Even though I got to work for some really cool restaurants and some cool chefs and like very highbrow, high-level food, my channel is very, I would say middle class, because that's like a terrible way of describing something, but it's kind of, it's like that, it's kind of that good sweet spot of the, I kind of touch on a lot of things and do a lot of cool pastry items, and I touch on the, some really cool intricate stuff, and then I'll do, baby back ribs. So
yeah, and I think what you do is you bring the professional skills to the at-home cook.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's why you're different from other chefs, right? Some people, they go really professional, or some people go really like at-home cook or amateur. And that's why you're so impressive to me, as well as obviously
you're so
your
awesome,
viewers.
Benji. You're way too nice.
No, for sure. Byron, one of the things that I feel sets you apart from other YouTube chefs, including myself, years ago, especially right when you started, the quality of your footage was outstanding, right? Like I knew even from the amateur videographer that you were using things like DSLRs.
Yeah.
I don't know about your first videos, but like quickly you were using that high-end film technique to film your food tutorials. Can you talk about why you did that and how you were able to do that by yourself?
Well, my wife helped me in the very the fetal stages of my YouTube channel. My wife had already started her channel, so I kind of helped her a little bit as much as I could while working in kitchens. But she was doing just iPhone footage, and really, I think I started my channel right when we got my DSLR, and I just knew to kind of compete in that market and. What was holding me back from starting my blog and starting like some sort of website was the fact that I had no idea how to represent myself on as a on a photo on a site, or I had no idea how to put my best foot forward, visually. And so I knew that going into it, I was going to have to compete to some extent with other individuals buying this, DSLRs were getting like crazy popular, and they're like. It's a whole new world today with YouTube and content creation. But I just knew I had to get a DSLR to compete in the market, really.
Yeah, totally. And for what it's worth, I actually don't think there was a lot of food people using DSLRs, right?
Yeah, I guess at that time.
There were some, right? But not at the level that they are now, right? It's almost like you kind of have to right now if you want to present your food in the way that people kind of expect when you're trying to, go about learning a recipe. So thank you. So Byron, I know from personal experience collaborating with you with my food channel, right, that your rise to getting to 800,000 subscribers has been relatively fast, especially in the food world.
Sure,
right? And it's been a pretty short time from you doing your at-home cooking recipes, collaborating with people like me, to now you're working with huge brands and you're on the front page of YouTube. Can you talk about what you attribute that success to?
I'd have to say, I don't know, it's tough. There's a lot of factors that play into my success. I feel like there's people, I get, not that I'm unattainable, but there's an aspirational factor there. It's like wanting to better yourself as a cook, reaching for maybe, someone who is at my level. I feel like that's part of the success of my channel. I reflect that. I try to represent that side of me as best as I can on my channel, especially right from the get-go. People, at least the majority of people kind of knew I was a professional chef, so that helped. And that helped set me apart from maybe the pack. Although I don't have like a rich culinary past, like being born in France, I don't have like a grandma who teaches me how to make like amazing things. So the professional aspect really helped me out. And just embracing the home cook world. Like I feel like I really had to relearn cooking in some aspects.
Simplify, right?
Simplifying.
You don't have this professional kitchen. You're like cooking in your apartment, right?
And you can't like mise en place or like get things ready beforehand. You're like the day of you're cooking. You have to kind of cater or at least think about what other people are having to deal with.
Yep.
So I think touching on those notes and my channel really kind of make it relatable. So there's that factor of aspiring to be something better than yourself or better than who you are in a given field, and then also having that relatability where you can attach yourself to that person while you're sort of growing with them.
Yeah.
So people like that. I think my viewers really like that, and they really appreciate that.
Thinking about the audience, the people watching you.
Yeah.
You know, Sean and I, we often talk about this, that people, they think of what they think audience members want to see, but they don't put themselves in the seat, the actual viewer's seat, and in this case, in the viewer's kitchen, that at-home kitchen.
Totally.
What do they have? You know, like not everybody has all-clad pans, right?
Yeah,
not
I don't.
Not everybody has gas, you know, burners, you know, and considering all those things.
Yeah.
Now, one thing is, I know you're a very humble person, even though you're successful in your own right. However, talk about the hard work and hustle that a lot of people don't see, right? Because they watch these cooking videos, but they don't see what happens after the camera turns off. And I know from talking to you in other conversations, you know, you're wanting to provide for your family.
Yeah.
You recently had a baby, which congratulations
thank you.
On that.
He's crazy.
And what that hard work was like to get to where you're at.
It was good. I mean, it's grinding.
Yep.
You know, I hate to use the word hustle, but there's some hustle in there, and like figuring out how to network and the relationships that you build along the way. But really, it's just nitty gritty. A lot of Google searching, a lot of just getting on the computer and reading ebooks on how to do things, and reading or watching a lot of YouTube, figuring out how to work DSLRs and. Do I want artificial lighting, and do I want natural lighting? And if I want natural lighting, how does that happen? What window do I use? What table do I use? Backdrops. And so it's a huge learning curve, and figuring that. Like, I feel like that was I had already hustled and grinded in my career beforehand, before I started YouTube, and that was like the physical labor. Not that I'm necessarily done with that, but. When I started YouTube, it was a whole new world, you know, figuring out all the semantics with film work and figuring out cameras and all that good stuff, you know, figuring out editing programs, and that was a lot of the grind.
When you first started, you were still working, correct? Yeah. It's not like you just had all day to film videos. Can you tell us about that? You know, work?
The first 6 months, I guess maybe first six to 8 months, I was still working 2 jobs. I was working at a hotel at night and with Thomas Keller, cooking breakfast at Bouchon in the morning. And I tried to film at least 1 video a month, or put up a video a month, just to like have some sort of consistency and make sure that people knew I was going to come back and upload more content, so they could always tune in at least once a month to get a recipe. And then with the snowball and with a little bit of subscribers, you know, 10,000 subscribers, 20,000, and then I was like, okay, it's catching a little bit. And then things kind of changed. So that first 6 to 8 months was crazy, working crazy hours, coming home smelling like a garbage can, and on my day off, actually not even my day off, like the first half of my day, since I had 2 jobs, I only had half days off. So that first, like, from, you know, 8 in the morning till like 3, I was like, film a video, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, that was crazy time.
A lot of people, their work is done at 8 hours, but yours wasn't done. You know, like you even told me, you were staying up late till like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? Because you had your 8-hour day, you come home and then you would film, or then you would edit. And you know, with YouTube, it doesn't stop there. You're engaging with your viewers, right? You're doing research, and then you're already thinking about the next video, the next recipe. So I really feel like that's a big thing that a lot of people discount, especially people that don't do YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my buddies, sometimes they envy my job because it's very flexible. I get to do what I love to do and film it and share it with the world and get paid, which is fine. But I feel like, you know, it's just at night or like 2 in the morning when I'm thinking about an edit or re-editing something, I usually have to get it done. And it's like I have to wake up, go, you know, edit or re-edit something depending on approval processes, if it's a brand deal or if there's a campaign involved, or if it's just something that's like bothering me within the video. I'm working from 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning till 6 in the morning trying to get it ready for the next day. And my buddies don't have to necessarily deal with that.
Yeah.
And the people who know me, even my family, when I started this, they're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds so different than what you aspired to like originally do in your career. So, you know, there's a little pushback and a little, you know, people don't really know exactly what YouTubers do or, you know, what their hours are, but they can be pretty crazy. You know, you have 18-hour days, and then you have, you know, a wonderful day with your family.
So Byron, obviously, YouTube is a social platform, right?
Very.
But everybody uses social platforms outside of YouTube. Can you talk about what social platforms you're using to help your YouTube, or vice versa, if you use YouTube more as a social platform to help your other platforms?
Yeah, so I mean, really, originally the core of my viewers are within YouTube, and those really help my other social media platforms. And I'm sort of a traditionalist. I don't know if there's like Vine and Snapchat and a lot of others that I haven't really like invested my time into. But I use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest very occasionally. But those Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are kind of my core social platforms that I post to. And it's funny that you even asked me this, because I kind of revamped my mindset behind like how I post on those platforms. And recently I've just been doing all individual posts on all, like each platform gets their own unique source of information.
To that platform.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe the text is different and the picture's the same that you'll see on Instagram. But there's, it's a different way that I'll plug if I'm plugging a YouTube video, or it's a different piece of content, I'll try to switch up the imagery so that people get, sort of that food porn nature throughout all of my platforms. And it's not like you're going to see my thumbnail is going to be on, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like you'll see my thumbnail, but you'll see a different maybe section of the video on my Twitter, a different section of the video on Instagram, and then a different section on Facebook. And they all kind of have their own ecosystems.
And you're catering to the viewers specific to that platform, right?
I guess I cater to sort of my core, my base viewer, and those viewers kind of are spread amongst my platforms. So I kind of know who I'm talking to regardless of what platform. But people are on Facebook for a certain reason. But they know they're going to get X, Y, Z from me. So and
versus a lot of people, they'll just kind of put up one post and put the exact same thing on all platforms.
And I actually did that for a long time.
And I do that too sometimes.
Yeah, I did it. I'll probably still do it every once in a while. It's an easy way to share. It's the less clicks and less thought process involved. But I feel like I get so much more engagement.
Totally.
Like I want to say like 1,000% more engagement.
Wow.
If I treat each platform as an individual, as opposed to, I'm using them sort of to all promote back to YouTube. I want to make sure that they each have their own identity in their own right. Yeah. Absolutely,
I agree with that, and that extra effort is totally worth it. It's making a difference for you for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So Byron, one of the reasons why I want to interview you in the first place is as a viewer of your channel, right? As well as somebody that is your friend, and I can kind of relate to you in like this experience of becoming a YouTuber and making a career. I've been really impressed with your ability to work with companies, work with brands, and be able to integrate them into your content. Even really early on in your YouTube career. Can you talk about that and how you were able to do that as you grew and work with huge brands right now?
I mean it's been a big evolution of like figuring out how to talk to brands, how to talk to agents, how to talk to sort of the industry types in the world, or in the YouTube world at least. I mean, that's all that I know. So it's been a huge growth process in figuring out how to they have their certain talking points, they have their agenda. How does that line up with your channel? Does it line up with your channel? And I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily I've handpicked a lot of the deals that I've done for reasons, but I have because I mean, in the very beginning there was maybe a few that I did that weren't necessarily, I wasn't crazy about, and I look back now, not regretting taking the deals or or producing those videos and that content, but really just I could have been a little. I feel like maybe I could have supported the brand a little bit better and within the content, or thought of a better strategy to roll out the campaign or roll out the videos. So that's been like a huge learning curve. But as far as like how I go about aligning myself with brands is really just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, what do they want to achieve out of the campaign? What's their goal? Who are they talking to? Do they have a story to tell? Do they want me to tell their story, or do I tell my story with the brand attached? And usually it works. I feel like personally, it works the best when you tell your story. You stay true to kind of what you're doing in your space, and allow or have brands kind of align with themselves as best as they can, whilst achieving their highlighted, not necessarily talking points, but what they want to get, what they're trying to drive to in the campaign. And like having those two mesh. So it's
aligning your content with their key messaging, but still delivering value to the viewers.
Exactly, and to the brand. You want to make sure that they get what they're paying for, and what they really that they get their audience excited for the campaign.
Absolutely.
So it's tough. It's always kind of a grind figuring out whether or not you're doing a good job, or whether the brand's happy, or whether you're pissing your audience off, or all that. I try as best as I can to choose the brands that align with what I represent, and the food that I represent, and the things that I do in my channel. So
always think about your audience, first.
Well, also thinking about, your audience follows you for a reason. It's really, I feel like if you find that reason why they're following you, and stay true to that, that's sort of why people come to you. It's not necessarily like you have to appease your audience all the time, because some people hate sugar. I cook with sugar. So if you follow me because you want
ice cream week.
I mean, and so it's like, if you follow me because you really think that I'm a good chef, and then you realize that I use sugar a lot, well, I'm not going to stop using sugar, just because you fell in love with my style of cooking, and now that you know that now that you know that I use sugar, you're not going to follow me anymore. So staying true to the cause, and the cause that sort of started your channel.
Exactly. Last question: if there was one piece of advice or a tip that you could give to other creators, whether they were somebody that wanted to do cooking recipes, maybe doing beauty videos, or just somebody that wanted to share their passion on YouTube, what would you like to share with the people watching this video?
My best piece of advice is find something you're extraordinarily good at, like better than your friends, better than the 5 people you stand around all day at your work or at school, or your little clique. Whatever you're really good at, whether you're funny, or you're fast, or you're athletic, or you're artistic, or whatever it is, find whatever you're very good at within that field, and go crazy, like pursue it with all your heart, because you're gonna like everyone has aspirations, like everyone, you want to be an actor, or you want to be a musician, or you want to be a professional sports player. Like sometimes dreams like that can be blown out of proportion, because you're not necessarily specifically focusing on, or sometimes people's dreams get just like blown out like crazy. They overthink their dreams. And they need to sort of think about how they can achieve that, and what skill sets do they have that are really unique, aside from the people that they're around and their close group of friends. Like, how do they stand apart in that group? And that's what's going to signify how you're going to stand apart within the YouTube space. I feel it's kind of a microcosm. Your friends, your social settings is kind of a microcosm of YouTube, like the giant YouTube monster that is today. So just find whatever you're really, really good at, whatever you're like extraordinarily. I say extraordinarily because I'm passionate about a million things. Like, I love Subarus, I love cars, I love outdoors, I love fishing, I love all those things. But for some reason, I excel in the kitchen. It's just for whatever reason, and people like watching me excel in that space, and they like what I have to say and you know, the recipes that I put out. So I found that sweet spot, you know, through working really hard and figuring out what I'm good at and being made fun of along the way. And you know, sometimes maybe I wasn't the best pastry chef, but I was really good at butchering fish. But all in all, I was really good in the kitchen. So.
One of the best answers to that question I've ever heard, for sure. Now for the fun question.
Yes, I love it.
Bonus
lightning round.
The lightning round. So, number one.
I'm the best at lightning round.
What was the last thing you grabbed out of the fridge?
Probably milk for my kid. Probably milk for my kid. Yeah.
Last fast food restaurant you went to?
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite ice cream flavor?
So this is kind of weird. I guess maybe it's not weird. Maybe there's a lot of people. So I worked at Baskin Robbins. That was my first job.
Sweet.
That was my very first job.
No pun intended.
No. This girl that worked there, she like got me into this. So it's chocolate and gummy bears. You mix chocolate and gummy bears,
really?
And that's like my favorite ice cream fetish weird thing. It's like,
dude, the gummy bears have a really nice texture.
They get really hard, and you know, I actually like them when they're soft. So I have the gummy bears like slowly. I slow release the gummy bears as I eat the chocolate ice cream, which is kind of weird.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's my ice cream favorite.
Platform of preference. Social platform.
YouTube / Instagram, but I'm actually starting to like now that I'm posting a little bit differently. I'm liking all of them very. Yeah. For sure, their own reasons. Yeah, very similar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. All right, so last two, Coke or Pepsi?
Well, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. It has to be Coke.
Bam!
It has to be
That's
Coke.
what I'm talking about.
It's too fizzy. It's fizzy and just it's good. Yeah.
It's just like classic. Mm-hmm. New York or LA?
I've been to New York a few times, so I don't think I'm the best judge on this. But yeah, LA is my hometown.
What celebrity chef or non-celebrity chef would you like to cook with if you could?
What non-celebrity chef?
Or celebrity.
Or celebrity chef.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, there's a lot. So if it was like a last meal type of thing, I would probably want to cook with Thomas Keller, just because he's my idol.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain, only because he was the one that
he's in there. So he's definitely in there.
He raised my passion for food for sure. Yeah. And then the last one is the current YouTube channel that you love watching right now.
Right now, I watch so much stuff on YouTube. It's so hard. But the one I probably obsess on the most is Vsauce. Do you know about Vsauce?
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody know about Vsauce?
Yeah.
It's super sciencey. So I'm like, my dad was a chemical engineer for Boeing for a long time. So that was like, I'm into the whole science space. Yeah.
I love ASAP Science and all those.
I love it, yeah.
So, Byron, thank you so much for letting me interview you. And I know the viewers hearing your answers and you sharing your experiences are really going to benefit YouTubers as well as business people trying to use YouTube to raise their influence on this social platform. If you want to follow Byron, go to Byron Talbott on YouTube. Byron, why don't you share with people where else they can follow you and anything else you want to leave with the audience?
Yeah, so YouTube, it's youtube.com/Byron Talbott. I have a website that I launched like 6 months ago that I'm super excited about, and that's just byrontalbott.com, www.byrontalbott.com. And everything else is Byron Talbott, my name. So Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Sweet. Go check them out. Make sure you comment below on other videos and other people that you want us to interview. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching. If you want to watch YouTube, now I'm starting to like skip a few beats.
Final landing the plane. Here we go.
So I wonder if I should. Is that gonna affect it? Hey.
Probably.
It's not on anymore.
Good? Yeah. We're good? Do I look good? Are my eyebrows on fleek?
On fleek? I know. Yeah. You're like,
You have this question.